Ole Gunners gone? Question mark. Man United. Another tough one. Tough. You think he's gone? That's the first question I want to know. How long's he got left? Shocking. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
They're lucky to have 3 points. They're lucky to have 3 points. And I mean, if they were lucky even to maybe in theory get a point against Brighton, as you mentioned earlier. Like they shouldn't have been winning in that game, and the fact that they got out there with 3 points is a lifeline. And I remember watching the game and seeing the reaction on Ali's face after they got that 3 points, and just relief, man. And like after that 6-1 result against Tottenham, like no, I mean it's a ticking time bomb.
These things happen, you know.
I mean,
when you don't fight back in games like that you develop that trait of not being able to.
Sure, it becomes normal. Yeah, I mean, another thing I want to talk about is like the fact that they signed Cavani the last day of, like, to be honest, is great signing. But the thing that I'm thinking, what's the trend? What's the strategy there? I honestly would put that down to just a panic buy, get a big name in there, kind of try to silence the critics.
Yeah, Cavani's name's been flying around for ages, so there's been no rumours of him going to Man United. So it obviously something that came about late on. So it's given how long Cavani's been in talks and around. The Leeds were interested in him at one point. Guaranteed, his wages were just too big. No one would want to pay them. You know what I mean? So the fact Man United have then decided to get him represents, a panic buy. No strikers want to go there at the moment. They're not a good squad because without Bruno Fernandes, he was a great signing. But apart from taking out the squad, and you're looking at a team that definitely doesn't belong in this top 6 name.
No. And
really is that with the other teams looking to push for top 8, top 7 football, like Wolves, Everton. Don't know if you put Leeds in that conversation yet, but you don't put them anywhere higher. You don't put them with the likes, of course, of Liverpool, Man City. You don't put them with the likes of Chelsea, Spurs, Arsenal. They don't belong there right now.
Like, let's pop the question. So now you get rid of Ali. Who do you bring in? You know, is Poch still around? Is who's the next guy you look towards?
If I'm Pochettino and Man United approach me, I'm turning around. I'm not going anywhere near that. You want to get involved with that right now?
No,
and Poch had problems in the past with getting funds from Daniel Levy. So if you look at Man United's recent transfer history, that's not going to give you much confidence. They're just not showing a willingness to spend at the moment. And the results say it all for me. It's a cause for concern.
I will look at it 2 ways. So first, just out of pure respect for the club, and I'm not, like, obviously just saying this because I'm saying this. I'm an Arsenal fan, but to manage a team like Man United is not the same thing as managing a team like Tottenham. Tottenham is okay; it's a decent team. Man United is one of the biggest clubs in the world. So from that aspect, I could see, why it would give them, there's some attractiveness to the job. But from the other hand, you mentioned, sorry?
No, you say that it's a good job, that you want to be part of that job, but no one wants to go there. Players are turning their back and saying, "I'm not interested in playing." Like we just said, they signed Cavani because no one else was interested.
Yeah.
Jadon Sancho, even though he has no control over it, he doesn't seem in that much of a to Man United. At what point a manager's then going to say, actually, this job doesn't interest me? It's shocking. You're right. They're one of the biggest clubs in terms of the amount of money that they bring in terms of a fan base and a following all over the world. Huge, but yet they're just not getting it done on the pitch, which is where it really matters at the end of the day. It goes than just, I think they lack quality, but I think they definitely lack chemistry. And I don't think Ollie's the one going to be carrying them forward because he's had long enough. There were debates like this last season where they said give him more time, but a start like this highlights that they're not where they want to be.
What if you hear that Eddie Howe has taken over the club in Manchester.
I don't think that would be a terrible sign, like, to be honest, because Bournemouth were a good team, but really, like, similar to, Burnley we talked about earlier, where was the money coming in? There was no money. They weren't making any signings,
Mm-hmm.
So there's only so much Eddie Howe can do with the squad. I mean, he carried them up, 2 or 3
Yeah, he
leagues.
did so many things with them, and
So that
he might have overstayed. He might have overstayed his like welcome, because nowadays you can't get away with staying at clubs for more than few years, 4, 5, 6 years. You're lucky to be at a club that long.
Manager, he's still young. I think he's a great option for Man United.
Yeah, I mean, you either go get like a big name, but then again, how's that
Big names
worked out for them?
I don't think a big name is what they need.
Yeah, it's not worked for them. They've made a joke out of managers like Louis van Gaal, Mourinho. They've shocked it with under those guys.